Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 3 of the Grizzlies Realistic MyGM 2.0. And where we left off, we were at the draft and we were thinking about what we were going to do with our draft picks. We have 5, 12, and I think the 27th pick in the second round. Yep, there we go. And I've really come to the conclusion that I'm not really in love with anybody from this draft. I mean, we've looked at it and we've scouted the players, and first of all, our scout didn't even scout any of the players that he was supposed to. He scouted a bunch of second round prospects, which is not what I chose. And so we don't even know anything about these guys. Secondly, they're also all power forwards, and we have pick number 5. This guy's projected to go number 1, but we're not going to get him because he's projected number 1 and there's no way he slips number 5, and the rest of them are power forwards. And I'm honestly not with it. We already have Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ivan Rabb if we choose to bring him back, but we can also make Brandon Clark a power forward. Either way, I'm just not really sold on doing that with the 5th pick. So I have decided, you've seen this before, but I'm going to try to trade for Bradley Beal. So absolutely giving them pick 5, pick 12, and we can give them this second round pick 2, although that really probably won't make much of a difference. And then I wanted to give them Zaire Smith because I feel like 5-12 and Zaire Smith is fair. But as you can see, we can't trade him until we get his team option. Now, the problem is that once we draft somebody with those picks, they lose their value. I mean, the player probably won't have as much value as the actual picks themselves. So we have to throw in Matisse Thybulle, who I really like as a 3 and D guy, who's 6'6" and can play the 2 or the 3. And he's got better potential than Zaire Smith as far as I know. But it's not really something I can control, because in my GM you can't edit any of the players. Normally in my league you could just edit his salary, where you accept the option, and then you'd be fine. But I can't do that here, and I don't really want to wait until after the draft, because like I said, that's when they lose their value. And so we might just have to trade Matisse Thybulle, which is not the end of the world, but he's really solid. I really do not want to I really don't want to trade him, but Bradley Beal is a star. He's an offensive star. He had an amazing season last year. 23 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.3 steals, 50, 40, and 83 splits. I mean, what more can we ask? And I'm sure he'll flourish on this team. And you got to give up assets to get assets. So we're going to see if the Wizards take this deal. And they do. Bradley Beal is now, he's on the squad. That's awesome. I was not expecting them to just accept that right out of the gate. But Bradley Beal's on the squad. Maybe this will count as a big 3. Beal, Jackson Jr., and Valanciunas. I don't know what the coach defines as a big 3, but that was also our previous coach. And the reason that I decided to do this ultimately was because originally we had a goal to have 2 lottery picks by the end of the draft. And I was like, well, if I trade that, I'll fail. And my relationship with the governor isn't exactly bad. As you can see there on the right, his trust is not on the bar. He's uneasy. And I was like, well, if I fail that goal, he might fire me. But it's no longer there. So now we have Bradley Beal on the team. And I know you might be wondering if that was realistic or not. And you're like, dude, I thought this was going to be realistic. But the Wizards were not good. And really, who else do they have other than Bradley Beal? They had John Wall, CJ Miles, Bertans, Thomas Bryant. I mean, that's all they had. And now they get the chance to make a youth movement because they already have several young guys that are decent. Troy Brown Jr., they've got Skal Labissiere, Rui Hachimura. They just got Matisse Thybulle, Jordan McRae. I think he's old. Never mind. Thomas Bryant, and picks 5 and 12 in the draft. I think that's absolutely worth trading Bradley Beal for. I know the Wizards might not have done it in real life, but I think here it makes sense. They were the 10th seed. They weren't exactly contending for anything, and it's time for a youth movement, and that was just honestly quite a haul for Bradley Beal. Picks 5 and 12. So I think we have a pick in the draft, but I think it's a second round pick. Yeah. Okay. So this is where our scouted, but we don't actually have any scouting information on these guys. I'm just gonna look at their grades and see what's up. So since really it's a second round pick and it doesn't really matter either way. He probably won't be anything. We got Cliff Cartwright, who's a shooting guard, and that's about all I can say about him. Let's see. His overall is a 65, but he's 21. I think he had he had B+ potential, but B potential is fine. He's a terrible defender, but he can shoot a little bit, but he doesn't really matter all that much. We'll sign the 1-year option. And I honestly don't care about the coach failing that. Why didn't you pick Brian? Whatever. Shut up, coach. I hate it when they do that. Now we can accept Zaire Smith and Jaren Jackson Jr.'s options. We do have a lot of cap space. And we're not going to offer him qualifying offer. He was solid for us in limited minutes. So I'm thinking that we'll offer him the qualifying offer, but we're not going to match anything big. Make no promises about Anthony Davis. The scout wants us to bring in Anthony Davis. And oh, I forgot. This isn't like my league. Okay, yikes. So what is our salary actually looking like? Right now we have negative 32 million. We're going to renounce Tyler Johnson, Miles Plumlee, Etuan Moore, Jay Crowder. Dylan Brooks is gone. And Kenrick Williams. And we have 37. We could try to snag Brandon Ingram from the Pelicans. We'd have to offer him max money. But is it worth it? Because we have... I don't want to tie up a whole lot of salary because next offseason is really when everything comes in. Buddy Hield. Oh, we just got a shooting guard. We just got Bradley Beal. He could play the small forward though. We don't have a small forward right now. He's a little small, but we could easily get him. I hate this glitch where they only offer him 1 year. I don't know, man. Let's look at the salary cap table and see how much we'll have next offseason. Beal will be expiring, so we'll have to bring him back. We don't have a lot of salary tied up in that. So if we offered Bradley Beal, if we offered Buddy Hield a contract, we'd still have plenty of cap space and be able to sign Bradley Beal again. I'm liking the move because Brandon Ingram honestly always sucks in 2K. 100% of the time. So I'm thinking maybe we should just offer Buddy. But Buddy Hield is also 27. Interesting. But he's a good match for anybody. I think we'll offer him a deal. We'll offer him a 3+1. He wants a 4-year, $121 million contract. This is what we'll offer. 4-year front-loaded contract. but you know, he also doesn't have any better offers. I feel bad, like, it's not necessarily finessing the system though, because look at his offers: 16 mil a year, 10 mil a year, 8 mil a year, 8 mil a year. I mean, either way, it's a big deal, and it's more annually than any of these other teams are offering. I know the glitch, but even if those were 4-year deals, we would still be offering him more money. So I don't feel too bad about that. Malik Beasley. Now that's an interesting option. He just has the qualifying offer. He's expecting $12 million. And I honestly could see us bringing him in for maybe a 1+1 just to fill some salary. Because right now, let's look at it. We need a backup point guard, but those are easy to come by. Zaire Smith will spend another year in the G League, I think, because we still have another year of team control. He'll also be in the G League. Brandon, we need a backup small forward, which Buddy Hield can play. We just need backups. So we are going to come here. We're going to decline Kenrick Williams' thing. Oh. So we can't sign Bogdanovic. But we can get Buddy Hield and Fred Van Vliet. What if we decline that? So we're going to lose out on Bogdanovic, but we'll get Buddy Hield and we'll get Fred Van Vliet. All right. So we did get Wilson Chandler, who's a small forward / power forward. And we get Torrey Craig. And with that, we level up. Get an extra specialty facility. I think that is completely worth it. So we're going to go ahead and use that. And we get Torrey Craig. You do not have enough. We only have the league minimum now. So let's see who's signed. Anthony Davis went to the Heat. Are you serious? DeRozan the Cavaliers. Siakam back to the Raptors. Drummond to the Spurs. All right. And Garrett Temple, welcome to the Grizzlies. We have 12 players on the roster. And so we can go ahead and sim right to player progression and see what's up. Oh, I forgot we had a qualifying offer for him. Why didn't you sign Anthony Davis? What do you mean? We had plenty of cap, but that's not realistic. That was dumb. The fact that he went to the Heat is dumb. But Bradley Beal gets better. Jaren Jackson Jr. gets better. Buddy Hield kind of stays the same. John Morant gets better. Brandon Clark goes up. Van Vliet goes down a little. Baines goes up, surprisingly. He's kind of old. Zaire Smith goes up marginally. Wilson Chandler declines a little bit. Same with Garrett Temple. And this is a pretty decent looking team. We could be a playoff team. 8. Brandon Clark is somebody we definitely need to send to shooting camp. So I will go ahead and send Brandon Clark to perimeter camp. He still can't shoot, but you know, it is what it is. And then who else am I wanting to send somewhere? No, let's do rebounding. Can we do rebounding to Jaren Jackson Jr.? He didn't grab that many rebounds last year. All right. That's training camps, and now we're going to advance to the off season. The next regular season. And they can sign whoever they want because we got all 12 players that we wanted. So let's go ahead and look at the coach's game plan. John Morant playing 37 a night. Bradley Beal, 34 a night. That's a pretty good backcourt. They're both decent defensively. John Morant's better, but either way, they're decently sized. And we got Brandon Clark here, who's our kind of multi-positional defender. He can defend in the post and defend on the perimeter. Jaren Jackson Jr. at the 4 spot. Valanciunas at the 5. And that's a really good starting lineup. That's really good. And then we'll still have plenty of money for next offseason because Bradley Beal is expiring, who I plan to bring back. Obviously, we wouldn't trade all those things if we weren't going to bring him back. But we do have Buddy Hield locked down. He's coming off the bench, which I feel like he may be unhappy with. And I feel like I didn't think this through entirely. He can't really play the 5, but it was too good to pass up one of the best three-point shooters in the entire league. So, I couldn't pass it up. Aaron Baines got the 8th man spot, and Wilson Chandler rounds out the rotation. Zaire Smith's going to end up in the G League. Same with Cliff Cartwright. I'm liking the squad so far. Zaire Smith to the G League, and Cartwright can't go to the G League. So now I should be able to send Cartwright to the G League. Yes, sir. Okay. So those two guys are going to sit in the G League. Doesn't he have 1 year? Yeah, he has a team option next year, and so does Zaire Smith. So hopefully they'll be rotation players by the end of next year. And I'm liking this team. Oh, well, we ran out of action points, and we actually won our first game of the season in a blowout. Bradley Beal drops 34 and 6. John Morant drops 21, 5, and 14 assists. Valanciunas with 20 and 13 rebounds. Brandon Clark with a solid game, 15, 5, 2 assists, 3 blocks, and 1 steal. Jaren Jackson Jr. with 2 steals and 3 blocks. Buddy Hield was nice off the bench. Van Vliet, everybody was nice. That was it, man. That was a great game. And what was this down here that I saw? Pick facility specialization. That's right, we do have another one. Increases the number of staff and spots for increases concessions revenue. Well, that's exactly what we need. So there we go. Talk with trainer. You know what? Let's hop in against this game against the Rockets. We're not going to play for that long. Well, actually, can I simcast it? Well, anyway, we'll see what happens. I do want to get a little bit of gameplay in here just to show off the new team, but I'll see you when I kind of find out, everything that happens. So here we are, the game against the Rockets. Should be a pretty decent matchup. We got our backcourt is significantly, well, not significantly worse, but it's worse for sure. And they have A+ home court advantage. Oh my goodness. Either way, I think it should be a pretty decent game. I'm not going to play for that long. I do just want to, show off a little bit of the new team. And maybe getting exposed by James Harden isn't the right way to do that. But Russell Westbrook with the extremely forced 3. John Morant's going to take it inside for the easy layup. Relentless finisher. Pro touch. This man is a beast. Why do they leave me open? I mean, that wasn't really open, but late closeout kind of thing. Russell Westbrook has been throwing it down already. All 4 of their points are from some violent slam. He got me jumping. That's a bad shot. Let's see if we can't get some more pick and roll action with Bradley Beal. Oh, hit him with the step back. The step backs are so glitchy when you run into the edge. But so far, Bradley Beal's got 6 points, 2 threes. I think this is a really dynamic team, and there's so much that our roster is able to do. Because John Morant is good on offense, but he's also a very good defender. And he gets steals at a good clip. And I think we'll see a vast improvement from last season, especially because our team chemistry is already good, and this is the roster that I want to stick with. I want this roster to be here pretty much throughout the whole season with no major shakeups, except maybe Buddy Hield will get traded just because he's unhappy. It was just too good to pass up. And as you can see there's a pick and roll with Jaren Jackson Jr. Let's see what he can do in the post. He's backing him down. Ooh! The light work. Light work. Daniel House ain't no match. He's averaging 16.5 points per game. So like I said earlier, I do like the makeup of this roster. I feel like we've got Ja Morant, who's our kind of do-everything point guard. He's not a fantastic shooter, but he absolutely can shoot. And he's a good finisher inside, and he's very good at playmaking. Bradley Beal, he's kind of, our offense. He's our kind of score-first shooting guard. He can finish on all parts of the court, and he's also a good playmaker too. So he doesn't really leave anything to be desired. Brandon Clark, He's kind of like our Draymond Green in terms of all the things he's able to do. And then we've got Jaren Jackson Jr., who's a defensive stretch 4, which is crazy to have. We're extremely lucky that we do have somebody like that on our roster. And we really have mostly 4 shooters on the floor at all times. But when Brandon Clark is not in the game, we have 5 shooters at all times. Because everybody can shoot on this team. Anyway, with that 3 that did not touch the net, as I was saying, I like our team. And honestly, I don't want to make any major shakeups. And we also will have money for free agency next year to add another star. I know I said I wanted to keep this realistic, and I feel like this is realistic. We got a first quarter full of gameplay. This is really all I wanted to talk about for this roster and everything. So I'll see you when I sim to the end of the game and everything. So we did get some gameplay in there. And we came out with the W against the Rockets and put up 113 in 6-minute quarters. That's crazy. Bradley Beal ended up with 29 points. John Morant with 24, 7, and 7. Van Vliet came out there too, and Valanciunas was good. Buddy Hield's been struggling a little bit. Brandon Clark did come out with a bruised rib. That's day-to-day. We can adjust that in the coach game plan. But they have Buddy Hield starting. But as of right now, I'm seriously liking where this team is at. And I think we kept things realistic. Now, obviously the Wizards, they've been rumored to be trading Bradley Beal. They really don't want to. But if you get offered pick number 5, number 12, and Matisse Thybulle, who's a solid young defensive shooting guard, for Bradley Beal, who might not even re-sign with you anyway, I think you pull the trigger on that. Absolutely. And then we had money, so we threw it at Buddy Hield, because when you have money, you want to spend it. And we brought in veterans. We brought in veterans like Van Vliet on a 1+1 deal, and we gave him a big contract so he would come to our team. We overpaid for him. Van Vliet is not worth $30 million. He's very good, especially as a backup. He's very good, but he's not worth $30 million. But we overpaid for him so that we could keep him. Aaron Baines is aging, and he's really just a veteran that we brought in, that we had last season. We're like, hey, come back to the team. Wilson Chandler is a veteran. All these other guys that we brought in on minimum contracts, they're minimum guys anyway. And so that's who we brought in, and I think we kept this realistic. I think we improved this team and kept it realistic. And that's really what I want to kind of preach on this channel. I like realism. I like making realistic scenarios. I like, seeing things work out as they would in real life. Obviously, this is 2K. Anthony Davis signed with the Heat. I mean, either way, I've been talking way too much. So we started out the season 4-0. We've got a good team. We might win 48 games like the owner wants us to. But no promise. No, that would be 46 games. I don't know. Anyway, I think it's 48. But this is our team. This is our team moving forward. Chemistry is going to go up, boost our ratings a little bit. I think this is a playoff team. I think we can do this. Next season, we'll probably go all the way through the trade deadline. Depending on what happens there, might finish the whole season and then do the playoffs another episode. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, just let me know. If you got an opinion on a move you think I should do, or some adjustments I should make, or anything like that, just let me know. And I'll take it into consideration. Obviously, there's no guarantees. Obviously, I have the final say in this, but I want to hear what you guys think. And if you enjoyed it, leave a like, do whatever you want to. I hope you enjoyed. Catch you in the next one. Peace.